What's going on? So today I'm back here with Ranbir, the owner of San Jose Barbell, and in this video we're going to show you how you can apply your fitness mindset and the lessons you learned from your fitness journey to have a successful business.
And so your reps would be like, are you posting every week? Are you posting a helpful thing daily? Like that's your reps. Like, are you doing a sales conversation every day? If you do one every other week or like once a month or randomly, it's like the guy who goes to the gym once in a while and he wonders like, why am I not getting in shape?
Right.
There's no consistency.
Hey Ranbir, how's it going?
It's going well, man.
Yeah, so we just filmed a bunch of videos, but one thing that people don't talk about is fitness teaches you so many life lessons, and if you don't learn how to use them and apply them to different areas, it's almost like a waste, I feel, because there's so many people I see, they're so dedicated in the gym and they're so passionate about what they do, but then when it comes to other areas of their lives, they don't apply the same mindset, and I feel that they're leaving so much on the table. So in this video we're going to share with you the top 3 things that we've learned and the top 3 things that we're applying into our own businesses to grow it even faster. So Ranbir,
absolutely, yeah, and that's really good. When you can see things and become good at one area of your life, then you can apply all of that knowledge and learning and everything else, and you'll see the patterns in everything else. So the first thing that in training and nutrition is that was a major game changer, is like there's no such thing as good food or bad food. There's no such thing as a good exercise or bad exercise. Well, there's some silly exercises, but the point is, if I think that carbs are bad or pizza is bad, what's your favorite food?
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Just any kind of chocolate?
Any kind of chocolate. Like cakes, pastries.
Oh, any kind of chocolate.
Yeah. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
I like that. Chocolate is hands down my favorite thing. Well, I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing, but I fucking love chocolate. Was there ever a time where you thought chocolate, where you were like, oh, I can't eat chocolate because I'm gonna gain fat?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be obese pretty much all my life.
Yeah.
And every time I would eat chocolate, I would feel so guilty about it.
Yeah.
And also other people would let me know as well, why are you eating this?
Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't eat this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and now, like, do you enjoy chocolate?
Yeah, pretty much every day. Yeah.
So, now, in fitness, we learn, or a lot of us get to this point, right? Especially if you've had success in your fitness world, you understand that calories are what matters. And when you take the labels off of like, this is good food, this is bad food, it begins to be more of you have a better feeling. So then there's no guilt, there's no shame, there's no, man, I did this again. Instead, and there's also no binging. So there's no downward spiral. It's just like, I would like this, I would like 100 calories of this, whatever. Like it's not a problem anymore, right? That problem only exists because you have labeled things. And so in business, it's the same thing. Like there's nothing that can go wrong. Everything is a learning opportunity. So when you take the label off, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, or this is good, this is bad, Facebook is evil, Facebook is advertising is bad, or like organic is good. Like when you take that all away, all of a sudden you become a lot more clear, and it's easy to make the right decision for you in that moment. Versus like you're wasting time, energy, and emotional energy by having these labels. So that's number one, is like, take the labels. There's no such thing as good food or bad food. Everything you do is just information. And then it's like, I like to use the example of, it's like a buffet. It's like, if you have a buffet and there's 100 options there, and there's 70 options that you don't like, you're gonna walk into the buffet and be pissed that there's those options there?
Yeah.
That would be silly.
Yeah.
It would be really silly for Anand to walk into a buffet and be like, you know what, I am outraged that you have you know, vanilla ice cream because I hate vanilla ice cream, and meanwhile there's chocolate ice cream right there. It's like you wouldn't do that. In a buffet, you would walk in and you would look, oh, there's vanilla ice cream, oh, here's chocolate ice cream, and you would take your chocolate ice cream. So it's the same thing with this stuff. It's like there's no good or bad, like, and once you remove that good or bad label, you're at your buffet and you take, it's just information.
Yeah, basically it's like finding what works for you, I guess. You know, instead of, you know, like just something being, I guess not having an extremist mentality like black or white. You know, there's many shades in between that you can pick from.
Yeah, and those things can exist.
Yeah,
and it's okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 is consistency and getting your reps. You know, spending time under tension, and you know, obviously doing that for a long time is what is important. Mm-hmm. So, how would you say that, you know, applies to our?
Yeah, you know, like people are like, you know, I want to lose 20 pounds in 1 week or something like that. You know, that's a common question that as fitness coaches, you know, I used to do a lot of fitness coaching, and people are like, how do I lose weight? You know, I want to lose weight in so many weeks. But did you actually put on that weight in those few weeks? You know, you probably put on those weight over a period of years, right? So it's the same thing, you know, if you want to achieve results, then it takes things like consistency. You know, if you want to build muscle, then you got to go into the gym multiple times. You got to put in your reps and your sets, and over time, you know, you're going to add muscle over time. Or same thing with losing weight. So with your business, you can't expect to grow a business like going from $0 to $1 million tomorrow, right? It takes time. It's a process. So I would say just like, you know, you put in the process when you go to the gym, it's the same thing with business as well. You got to focus on the things that will, you know, the workouts, the reps, the time on the tension that you put into your business, which is basically what you invest, right? Your investment in terms of how much money you invest, how much time you invest, how much energy and attention you put into your business, which ultimately will lead to success over time.
Yeah. And, you know, like last week we talked about social media, the week prior we talked about sales, and so your reps would be like, are you posting every week? Mm-hmm. Are you posting a helpful thing daily? Like that's your reps. Like, are you doing a sales conversation every day? Mm-hmm. Like if you do one every other week or like once a month or randomly, it's like the guy who goes to the gym once in a while and he wonders like, why am I not getting in shape?
Right.
So there's no consistency.
I would say the other thing I learned was just the discipline, right? Because fitness, if you're into fitness, then you probably have more discipline than the regular person. But then you can also apply this discipline into other areas of your life. And what I mean by that is, whether you feel like it or not, you still go to the gym, right? There's many days you don't feel like working out, but we all know that you know, if you just go to the gym and if you don't have the best workout in the world, you still get some workout or you still get some results. And I found in my case so many times I didn't really feel like going to the gym, but then I went and set a PR at the gym. So that's
and then you felt
out
better.
of nowhere, yeah, and then you feel good about it, right? So with business, you know, this is something I struggle with. Is I sometimes don't feel like working, but then I'm like, what if I had to go to the gym? I would have gone to the gym because that's just what I need to do to build muscle or to lose fat. So if you want to grow your business, then you can apply the same discipline into growing a business.
Absolutely. So the third thing is, you know, the 80-20 rule, and you know, the most things don't matter. Mm-hmm. And the idea is like, we know when it comes to fitness, if you eat the right amount of food for your, you know, size and your activity level, and you train for strength with good form and technique, and then you just do that forever, that's all you need. That's your, you know, 80-20 right there. And then everything else is irrelevant. The same thing applies for your business, right? And so, you know, we talked about some of those things over the course of the last few weeks about what are those things. But, you know, just understanding that is so important, because we use straight line thinking to really help us with this. And so what straight line thinking is, and I'll give you an example, is like, I'm talking to a client and he goes, and so we're talking about water. Obviously we all know water is important, right? It's like, so I'm like, okay, so we need to drink more water. And he goes, okay, I'm gonna plan to drink more water. And I was like, what does that mean? Because think about that. I'm gonna plan to drink more water. What I just did is I took something and I started to, I'm gonna go sit down at some point, and then I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna do. Do I need to go buy a hydro flask? Do I need to buy a gallon? Like, do I need to, you know, make sure where's the bathroom? Like, I'm thinking about all of this shit, right? Straight line thinking cuts through everything, and when you're able to do that, it releases energy. Straight line thinking says, where's B? Drink water. Where's A? I'm right now here, I'm not drinking enough water. What are the necessary required actions? The only thing required for you to drink more water is to grab a container that is near you, or a glass or a bottle, and hold it and drink it. You just accomplished the goal. Instead, you made it into this giant fucking production, which, you know, like, you're gonna plan to drink more water? No, just grab, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's straight line thinking. So, and that helps you stay focused on like the 80-20. Is like, so what would you do? Like, I want to build a successful business. Be good at the service or product. Be good at sales. So what does those things mean? You could break those down. Like, have a sales conversation every day. Post on social media every day. And so if you can use straight line thinking, you don't need to do all of this, you know, nebulous thinking, and like, and then those things give you anxiety and like overwhelm you, when all you needed to do was like, oh, I need to have my sales conversation for today. Let me go in my email, and oh, here's the last person that emailed me. Let me call them. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? I saw that you wanted to lose weight. What's up?
Right.
No planning needed. You don't need to do shit. Just pick up the phone and talk to the person.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's, and so what is there any other things you would include in the 80-20? For me, I would say it's sales, it's be good at your craft, and, you know, share that information on social media. Like,
yeah, so marketing basically. Yeah, I mean, those are the things that will drive your business forward. I would say another thing for growing your business can be, once you have those things in place, the one way you can grow faster or scale is to hire people. So, you know, one thing that you need to be okay with, and also become better at, is just delegating stuff, because you can't do everything yourself. So even if you can find someone who can do it, not even as good as you, but like 80% as good as you, and over time you can train them.
How did, that's a good point. They only have to do it as 80% as good as you do. I've heard that from other people as well. So this is something that, you know, I've always struggled with, or I struggle with now, and you've successfully been able to apply that, where, you know, you're working on making it even better, process, so that it's even easier for you, and easier for everybody involved, and it's a better product. What things kind of come to your mind as like, were you always like that, or some shifts or in your thinking that helped you make it?
I wouldn't say I was always like that, you know, like when I first started my fitness business, I was doing literally everything myself, you know. I built my website myself. So I went out and I learned how to build a website. So that, as you know, instead of hiring someone, to build a website for me. I spent months trying to figure it out, learning WordPress and what kind of themes I should use, and then my website's not working. Same thing with like video editing. I had no idea how to use the software, so I took all these training courses how to edit videos. Whereas I could just find people who could do it for me, and I think the biggest mindset shift has been just having business mentorship and being part of masterminds where they teach you these things. Yeah. And one of the best things I've learned is as an entrepreneur, you have 3 jobs. It's to first of all motivate people, your team and your customers, to delegate stuff, and then to sell. So if you can do these 3 things, then you can become a successful entrepreneur. Whereas the mistake that most people make, and they think they're entrepreneurs but they're not, is that they end up working in their business versus on their business. And one book, really good book you can read on this, is called E-Myth by Michael Gerber, and talks exactly about that most people are just operators of a business. They're not really entrepreneurs. So they think that I'm very good at cooking, so let me open my own restaurant, and then they end up doing everything in their restaurant. They end up serving people and then taking orders and cleaning the dishes.
Yeah, and being miserable.
Yeah, pretty much.
What they love to do was to cook.
Yeah, and then they end up resenting the very thing that got them there, because then they're stuck. Whereas if you really enjoy cooking, then you should maybe do the cooking, but then you can dedicate everything else to everyone else. Like you don't have to do the accounting for your business, you don't have to do the cleaning of your business. And I'm guessing it's the same thing with you, because you not only have an online business but also a physical business right here. So I feel like delegating is truly the way you can scale. And from my personal experience, I'm still not the best person at this, but in the last few weeks I've been delegating more and more stuff to other people and letting them have control.
Yeah.
And my stress levels have reduced so much. Whereas before I couldn't get anything done because I was working on all these things. So
it's something that you kind of just I think. It's like words don't teach, only experience does, and you got to have the faith to do the move before knowing for sure what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
Like have the faith to take the move, and because you don't know, you can't know, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's very interesting.
And this is something I learned from Vince Del Monte, and he says that you can either have growth or you can have control, but you can't have both.
Yeah.
So, and if you think about it, if I ask you who's like an entrepreneur you look up to, you can say stuff like Elon Musk. Elon Musk doesn't build the cars himself, he hires people to do it, right? Because if he does everything himself, there's no way he can grow a company that big.
No.
So
absolutely. I don't know if you know Vinny from Myo Detox.
I'm familiar with him.
So he came here a while back, and we did a clinic. And one of the things that really stood out to me, I remember him saying this, was he said, let's say there's 10 things that need to be done, right? And right now you're doing all of them. And what you're really good at is the one, which is, let's say it's the training, right? And let's say you're at a 10 at training, and since you're stressed about everything else and you don't know how to do everything else and your ability level, maybe you're at a 5 across the board on everything else. Maybe some things you're at a 2, maybe some things you're at 1 because you just suck at it or you just don't want to do it. And so you got a 10 on one thing, but now with all these other things so low, causing more stress, and you're thinking about it, your 10 also goes down. Like your 10 becomes a 6 or a 5 because you're not fully present, you're thinking about everything else.
Yeah.
Instead, if you were to delegate those things to the appropriate people, and let's just say like they're a 7 or an 8 at them. Now, you might think you're better and you have to do all of this stuff, and maybe you do know more about something, but if we take all of your 3s and 4s and give them up to other people and they're 7s, maybe even 8s, right? Now you have 8s across the board, and now you have a 10 in your area. That's a much more successful business than, a stressed out person you,
Yeah.
and you have a, you know, 2s and 3s because you're stressed the fuck out trying to do everything.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
I like that. I really like that.
So yeah, you're going for 3 points, but that's like a bonus point right there.
That was bonus, yeah. 3.5.
3.5.
Shout out to Jeffrey Gittimer.
Always over deliver, right?
There you go.
Awesome. So I hope you guys got really good value out of this in terms of you already have what it takes to be successful in fitness, and now you can apply that fitness mindset into other areas of your life. You know, whether it's having that discipline to do things even when you don't feel like doing things, not having a black and white mentality, not labeling things as good or bad, and just seeing what works for you and also what doesn't work for you. And then also other things like 80-20 rule, which is you need to identify what are the 20% of the things that are going to give you 80% of the results. Focus on those first, and then once you have those things, and if you want to get the 20% results on top of that, then you might have to put in a lot more work, but you at least get to 80% by doing those 20% things.
Yeah.
So Ranbir, I want to thank you once again. We definitely want to do more videos like these, so if you have any questions about like fitness business, online coaching, social media, any of that, make sure to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to follow Ranbir on Instagram. He's got one of the best Instagram pages for like fitness content, and if you have any questions, just send him a DM and he'll be happy to help you out. So I hope you got value out of this, and I'll see you next time.